Hi, this is Ken Kaplan from Kaplan Cycles, and today I'm going to be explaining this 1977 Suzuki PE250 condition to you a little bit. This is part of a collection of bikes we bought from a guy who owned a Harley shop that went out of business, closed, and he had 2 container loads of motorcycles that he collected over the years, and God knows how long he had this one. It's a 77, so it's almost 40 years old, but this is a real popular vintage bike. This is what replaced the Suzuki TM in 75. They went to the RM in 76 for the motocrosser, and they came out with the enduro version, the PE250 in 77. Awesome woods bike, great suspension, great motor. This one is not in running condition. The engine is seized. It's going to need it's been sitting for a long time. We didn't take it apart. This is mechanically, this is exactly how it showed up to us at our shop with the shipment of bikes. So we don't know if it's going to need any crank work or whether it's just a top end seized. But best case scenario, it's just a top end frozen from sitting for 20 years. Worst case, might need a bore job and a crank rebuild. It's missing a couple of key parts. Clutch and brake cable are not on the bike, for starters. What else is missing on it? I think that's really the only parts it's missing, or that I can see, is a clutch and brake cable. The bike looks great cosmetically, but if you get up close, you see the tank has some kind of a repair job on it, and whoever put the graphics on put them on a little bit crooked, but a lot of potential. The cylinder and jug appears to be in great shape. The pipe itself, no dents on the bottom of the pipe, and it looks pretty clean up at the top here too. No rust through. One little ding at the top, and it has what appears to be a Bill's pipe silencer on it. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it's got a custom silencer on the pipe. I'm sure it sounds really good when it's running. Shocks appear to be in good shape. The frame appears to be in good shape. The rear swing arm is tight. There's no issues with the swing arm bearings or rear wheel bearings. If I look at the bottom of the engine here, if you take a look at the engine crash guard here, it's not all dented up, and the frame's nice and straight. The pegs aren't bent back or appear to have been. This one's bent forward a little bit, but the peg mount doesn't appear to be mauled at all. And the peg on the other side looks pretty good too, as does the intact brake cable, swing arm, shocks. This one has a set of buddy pegs mounted on the back too, which is something that didn't come with stock. That's something someone put on there. It's also missing the intake boot, the rubber boot, probably decayed, you know, from age. So at the very least, I'd plan on putting new cables on it, and an air filter intake boot and a top end. The front wheel bearings are tight on it. The forks appear to be in outstanding shape. There doesn't appear to be any damage there or anything. It's got a brand new set of Renthal grips on it. I printed off the NADA values to give you an idea what these are going for. The vintage bikes have gone up in value quite a bit. The NADA value in #1 condition is $3,330, so easily worth $3,500 to $4,000 once it's restored. They're an excellent AHMRA vintage candidate. You can go hog wild and restore it cosmetically totally, or just get it running and race it. I pulled off a article I found online about the PE versus the RM. It's basically an RM250 with different porting. Other than that, the RM ports, you can see, are much bigger than the PE ports, and that was done to keep the bike tractable and good off-road. And I'll read you a little bit from the article. It says, the suspension softness is made into extremely predictable, no surprise handling. The RM250V has been widely acclaimed for its superb handling, and the PE has inherited most of the stick to the ground, true tracking traits of the motocrosser, but not at the expense of a harsh ride. The PE's gently sprung suspension, low center of gravity, and superb ability to secure traction make it one of the best handling fire rotors we have ever ridden. Engine performance is what it should be, smooth and usable. Webco's dynamometer shows that the PE makes almost 23 horsepower at the rear wheel, which is more than the Honda CR250 and RM250B. In comparing the power figures with 250cc enduro race machines like the Hercules Can-Am Qualifier Pen, the Suzuki makes 15 to 20% bhp in torque. Suzuki has aimed for and achieved engine performance which is very similar to Montez's V75 and Bultaco's Frontera Enduros. The PE has a noticeable power surge. In most any given situation, the PE's power is usable because it gets to the ground. Everyone who rode the PE was highly complimentary about the engine's clean response to throttle variations, broad useful power range, and acceleration. The PE won't startle a rider when given the whip because the engine gains speed evenly and without struggling. In the lower gears, especially first, the PE will stand up on the back wheel under full throttle Spot on carburetor jetting allows the bike to be ridden through a wide variety of terrain at half throttle or less in higher gears. There's no need to keep the engine spinning to maintain momentum. Slogging through rough terrain and topping difficult uphills is one of the PE's specialties. The engine's torque spread, together with the bike's compliant rear suspension, allow the bike to walk over cobbly or steep ground easily. When faced with more challenging terrain, the rider can just roll the throttle open and or go down a gear and clear obstacles with minimal effort or skill. High gear allows for long jaunts all day at 40 to 60 miles per hour. In nearly every respect, the PE250 is an excellent cross-country bike. It has enough power and gearing to run close to 70 miles per hour for long periods. The PE's handling is as precise and non-threatening as any enduro bike we've ever ridden, and riding comfort, the Suzuki Enduro is, for the most part, outstanding. And there was also a picture here I'd like to show you of a guy in period correct gear riding a wheelie on this thing with the suspension doing its job. Just a fantastic bike. It shows it in the picture with the headlight it's supposed to have. This one has a number plate on the front. It's supposed to have a headlight and tail light, but that was removed before we got it. This is the rider can roll the throttle open and clear obstacles with minimal effort. Again, easily a $3,500, $4,000 bike restored. We're selling it as is, leaving you plenty of room for sweat equity and put some new plastics on it and buy yourself a new piston and redo the top end. But it's a two-stroke. It's super easy to work on. This one's all there. If you have any questions about the bike, give us a call, 860-454-7024. All the proceeds from the sale are going to the New England Motorcycle Museum Restoration Fund, so it's going to a 501(c)(3), so it's going to a great cause, and you're helping preserve motorcycle history as you are. If you buy this bike, you are part of motorcycle history. So good luck bidding on it. God bless. It's Friday night. I'm going to roll this baby back into the museum, put her on display for Saturday, and people come in and check it out. And get ready for the motorcycle jamboree we're going to tomorrow. So hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care. God bless.